Welcome to another Parent Cafe video. My name is Kary and I'm the School Outreach Coordinator for the Deerfield Public Library. And I'm inviting you to join me on the STEAM train. What is STEAM? It's an acronym that stands for Science, Technology, Engineering, Art, and Math. You might have heard of STEM before. That just simply leaves out the A for art, but I'm a huge art lover, so I'm definitely going to include some art activities in today's video. So I'll be sharing with you things that you can do at home with your preschooler that will increase their STEAM knowledge. What's needed to do these activities? Your sense of fun, a few common household items, and precious time together. What's not needed? Fancy equipment, a plug, and anything that you need to buy. So let's get going on the STEAM train. Now, first up is an activity that our daughters, who are now in their 20s, still remember with fondness. When they were little, we were talking about how long a blue whale is. When I told them that a blue whale can be up to 100 feet, they were amazed, but also, honestly, they had no clue what that meant. So we went outside and drew a line with sidewalk chalk to show just how long 100 feet really is. So for this activity, you'll need a measuring tape, some sidewalk chalk, and some fun animal facts that can be easily found in our awesome nonfiction books for kids. Draw a line that's 100 feet long to represent that blue whale. Now, a giraffe can be 18 feet tall. Have your children lie down and see how many of them are needed to represent one giraffe. A male American alligator can be a frightening 11 feet long. Now, equally amazing, and on the opposite end of the scale, is that the bee hummingbird is only 2.4 inches long. There's also a shark, called the dwarf lantern shark, not pictured here, that is less than 8 inches long. Have your children find things around the house that are the same lengths as that bee hummingbird and the dwarf lantern shark to understand just how small those animals are. Now let's talk about patterns. Engaging in pattern talk with your little ones is actually building algebraic thinking, which will make that actual algebra class later on in life so much easier. Now, as far as kids are concerned, there are patterns on clothes, patterns in the way shoes or boots are lined up, patterns in a child's art, and even patterns in the songs that we sing together. Now, playing with blocks lends itself to a wide variety of STEAM teachable moments, including patterning. Say you're building a block castle together. Maybe you start with a red block and then place a blue block next to it, then another red block and then another blue. You've created a pattern. You can ask your child what block you should put next to keep up your pattern, but it doesn't have to be as rigid as that. As your child is building with the blocks, they might create their own pattern, which you can point out. They might build a block staircase that needs a long block, then a short block, then another long block, and so on. Block play also reinforces scientific concepts like gravity and balance. It enhances engineering skills. Just ask any child who has been frustrated when their structure falls down, and they'll tell you they needed bigger blocks at the base. They're also, of course, creating art when they're building with blocks, but they're also learning math concepts like quantity, when they count how many blocks tall their tower is, or comparison when they look for a bigger block or compare their taller tower to your shorter tower, or learning about shape when they realize that they need a rectangular block. Now, I mentioned at the beginning of this video that you don't have to buy anything to do these activities. If you don't have blocks, no worries, because we do. You can check out building blocks to take home. You'll find them in our library of things. For our next set of activities, you only need a timer and an energetic child. Ask your child how many times they hypothesize or guess they can jump in 1 minute. Set the timer and say go. After the minute is up, compare their prediction with the actual results. Using scientific words like these helps familiarize your child with their meanings, even if you're not explicitly defining them. If you're in the backyard, maybe they could predict how many times they can run around the backyard. Always be sure to compare the results with the prediction. Congratulations! You've now increased your child's STEAM knowledge and tired them out. What about art? You probably have markers or crayons around the house, so you're all set to do a shared drawing. Start off by making a mark on the paper. Then hand the paper to your child so that they can add their own mark to it. Keep going back and forth to see what you will create together. Not only does this result in a fun piece of art, but it encourages patience, self-control, and creativity. You can step this up by using a starting point other than a drawn line. Lay a twig on the paper and see what your child draws around it to make that twig into something else. Does the twig become the body of a butterfly with beautiful wings around it? Does the twig become a leg of a mythical creature? You're encouraging your child to think out of the box with activities like these. And of course, your kitchen is a wonderful place to do STEAM activities together. Baking and preparing food with your children are wonderful ways to introduce math concepts such as counting, fractions, and operations. Ask your child to get 2 pieces of bread for their sandwich. If you are making 4 sandwiches for your whole family, how many pieces of bread are needed altogether? Measuring cups and spoons are not only fun to play with, but they reinforce fractional awareness. How many half cups of chocolate chips are in 1 cup of the chocolate chips that are needed for your cookie dough? Math concepts like more or less come up all the time. Do you have more milk than I do? Are there more bananas or apples in our fruit bowl? Setting the table is another opportunity for your child to practice math concepts. Have your child count how many plates are needed for your whole family. If each person needs 2 forks, how many forks will be needed altogether? Even using words like altogether, more, less, or total on a regular basis helps your child become more comfortable with those math vocabulary terms, as well as more aware of the concepts behind the words. Remember, it's easy to climb aboard the STEAM train with your preschooler. It's not about providing formal learning opportunities. It's not about buying anything or plugging anything in. It's all about providing opportunities for your child to explore, problem solve, and just have fun together. The Youth Services Department can support you in these efforts as you help your child become more comfortable with STEAM concepts through our fantastic picture book collection, as well as our easy nonfiction books. Just ask anyone at the Youth Services desk for a recommendation, and we will help you find the right book for your budding scientist, mathematician, and artist.